Welcome to the 2022 AVP Pro Series Central Florida Open. It's Championship Sunday, but first, men's semifinals here on Stadium Court. And for the introduction of our teams, let's throw it down to Mark Sherman.
We ready, producer Dan? I'm just chatting with Phil. Sorry, he's still serving. We ready to go? We ready to go? Ready to meet the players? Phil, go on over to your booth. We'll get to you in a minute. It is time for the semifinals to varies, and this is gonna be good. These first couple of guys, oh man, especially this first guy, repping Pompano, repping West Palm Beach, repping the Palm Coast VB, ladies and gentlemen. You know him, you love him, especially out here in Florida. Let me hear it loud and proud for Dave Palm. Looking to make his first final here in the Pro Series AVP Tour, and his partner, one-time winner. That was back in 2018, and he is hungry for another final, baby. Yes, he is. He is Roberto Rodriguez Bertran. Rafu. And their opponent's no stranger to the finals. They'll look to add to their illustrious careers. This first guy, his illustrious career is just, it's getting more and more illustrious. It's got a long way to go, doesn't it? Yes, of course, I'm talking about the big fella. The big fella just driving up here. He's got such a long career ahead of him, and he just keeps getting taller. I just don't get it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Olympic gold medalist. Where's he from, DJ Rouchet? He is from, ladies and gentlemen, right here in Orlando. Yes, he is. Let me hear it for Phil Dalhausser. He's like, I don't usually go out first. This is weird. I thought I had 30 more seconds to get ready. And his partner, who's got an even longer career ahead of him. Oh, yes, he does. Out of Honolulu, Hawaii, the sands of Hawaii, 6 time zones over here to the sands of Florida. Wherever there's sand, he feels right at home, everybody. Let me hear it for Taylor Crabb.
Men's semifinal here on Stadium Court just about to get underway. Matt Prosser alongside Olympic gold medalist Dane Blanton. Dane, Taylor Crabb, Phil Dalhausser yesterday in the quarterfinal got a push from Tri Bourne and John Hayden to get to this semifinal here. What do you expect to see from such an experienced team taking on 2 Floridians in Rafu and Dave Palm?
Well, you know, anytime Dalhausser steps on the court, he's going to be effective, and it's going to be problems for the opposition for sure. But, you know, I expected Tri Bourne and Hayden to give him a push and give this new squad of Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser a push, and I think that kind of got them prepared for today. They know what it takes, and I would put them as the front runner to win this thing.
Well, definitely no strangers to semifinals or championship Sundays, but there's a great serve from another AVP champion, Rafu Rodriguez. Got a AVP championship added to his resume playing with the one and only Ed Ratledge a few years back. Serves up the ace and comes back with the short serve over to Taylor. And that is what Taylor Crabb does so well. He just hangs and sees the defense, places the ball back to the corner for the point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Phil and Crabb attack this match, but you know, I think this has the potential to be one-sided if Phil can catch fire at the net. He's just such a force, and he's going to cause all sorts of problems for both these hitters.
Well, Dave Palm swings right through Phil's block that time. An aggressive start by him, wearing the visor and the long sleeve shirt. But let's talk about Rafu's ball control really fast, Dane, as he runs under that pass to handset. How important is that?
Yeah, that's one of his best attributes, no question about it. A scrappy defender in the backcourt and a great transition player. Look at that dig right there. Controls it. That ball was in on the back line, and then he's just there. Look at him setting the ball off the top of the block. I mean, you can't really teach that one. You just have to get to that type of a comfort level. And Rafu, he's got it all. I mean, look at this. High off the hands. He sets it. Doesn't come out absolutely perfect, but good enough for the victory.
Well, Palm and Rodriguez definitely two showmen here on Stadium Court, trying to get the crowd behind them, even if they are the underdog, seeded 8th in this event. As Dave just misses that serve down the line at Crabb. And we've mentioned that this is Crabb and Dalhausser's first tournament together, a partnership that so many people have wanted to see for a very long time. And there's the influence of Phil's blocking. You said, Dane, Rafu misses that high line shot just wide.
Yeah, fantastic start for Crabb and Dalhausser. And as you mentioned, the first tournament as partners, 71 combined AVP titles together, over 60 from Phil Dalhausser. But if you're Rafu and David Palm, this is the exact start that you wanted. You came out hot, you got a little 1-point lead. Just keep your composure, do what you do best, and play consistent volleyball.
Won't quite trickle over, 3 in a row.
Well, there's a hitting error from Rafu going for the cut shot. Taylor Crabb was also there waiting for that cut shot. So that hitting error ties us up at 4 points apiece here. Early action in set number 1. And that pass too tight to the net. Palm can't handle it. So Taylor Crabb with a service ace off of Rafu.
Yeah, and there's those couple of errors, a cut shot into the net and then the errant pass right there. You can't afford that against Dalhausser and Crabb. They're only going to give you a few opportunities to score against them, and they've already given up those few opportunities in the first 4 points. So if you're Rafu and Palm, you got to clean up your game. You can't give away any unforced errors.
Now Rafu with a good response there with that line shot as he goes back to jump serve now over to Phil. Knocks his sunglasses off, but Phil swings away through Palm's block for the point.
The big fella.
Big Phil Dalhausser, the 2008 Olympic champion with Todd Rogers. And it's crazy to think that he said he was going to retire at the end of last year and then came out and won not only the first tournament with Andy Benish, but won the second tournament with Casey Patterson. And I said to him, you know, I thought you were retiring. And he said, that's just from international competition. I'm going to keep playing domestically. And wow, it's been a treat.
Nice deflection there, but just out of reach for Taylor Crabb to get. So a side out. Yeah, you know, speaking about Phil not playing internationally anymore, it would be quite a scene to see him compete still on the international tour, especially against some of these bigger players now that are out there. I mean, I know Phil has got some mileage on the body, but I still think he could probably compete at a pretty high level on the International World Tour as well.
Yeah, there's no question. Anytime he stands on that court, he is going to be one of the favorites. And that ball right there just thundered cross court by Phil, kind of letting us know, oh yeah, he has still got it. Not a lot of court to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Smash.
I don't know if that strategy by Dave Palm there to serve Phil is going to be a winning strategy, but Phil making a statement on that attack. And Rafu goes to the corner with the roll shot for the side out and the side switch.
And what a precise shot right there by Rafu. He knows the court so well. Such a high volleyball IQ.
And the jump serve through the middle goes over to Taylor from the right side now. Cut shot right to Rafu, waiting for it. Counterattack chance, and he gets it through the middle. So he earns one back after those errors earlier on in the set.
Nice up right there. Composes himself, gets up, and that's the best place to hit, right down that middle in transition.
So back to a 1-point advantage now as they continue to serve Crabb. Another dig, it goes over, but just wide of the sideline that time. see if Phil can get warmed up from the inline here. Gonna go with his jump float serve. We've seen him sort of switching back and forth between that and his jump serve. Rafu catches the fingertips to get the side out.
Smart play. That's what you're going to have to be strategic against Phil. There's the set. Beautiful set by Paul. Rafu goes high off the fingers.
Palm with the serve over to Crabb. And a gentle little line shot over the block and down for the point.
Taylor Crabb has some of the best vision on tour, and that's why he's able to get those shots down. He sees the defender as he's looking at the ball, and one of the best at that. It's so interesting. He knows when to hit and when to shoot.
That'll be a very entertaining matchup between him and Rafu as the defender and right side players, as Dave Palm misses that attack through the inline. Oh, but Palm comes aggressive that time and challenges Phil to get the side out.
Yeah, you're going to have times where you just go for it. You challenge Phil because you can't shoot around him all day. Sometimes you're going to have to keep him honest by powering that ball. And so really good choice by Dave Palm.
1 point to the technical timeout now as Rafu goes with a short jump serve over to Taylor. Oh, and Dave Palm left him down for his first block of the mat.
11-10 at the technical timeout.
Wow, how about this great footwork? Fronts the hitter. He's pressing as that ball is being contacted by Taylor Crabb, and he stuffs that one straight down. That was a thing of beauty.
Go over to court 1 for an update. Kyle Friend and Tim Brewster taking on John Hayden Triborn. Friend and Brewster taking a very close first set game, but trail here by 4 in set number 2.
Get up, get up!
Oh, nice play by Kyle Friend there up at the net. Gets the touch off the block and then converts it down the line. Now that'll be an entertaining match outside on court 1, the other men's semifinal. Winners obviously matching up in the men's finals later this afternoon here in Central Florida. Good crowd on hand, enjoying the perfect day for beach volleyball. Closing out the 2022 AVP season. Here's a glance at our bracket. Tenors quarterfinals matches being played earlier today. Semifinals happening right now.
Yeah, it's interesting, Matt. If I had to make a prediction, it's going to be 2 versus 3 in the finals. That would be Phil and Taylor Crabb taking on Triborn and Hayden, but a lot of work to be done for that to happen. And of course, I think a lot of people, Matt, are wondering what happened to Schulk and Brunner. They were eliminated in 2 matches, if you can believe it, as the #1 seed. Not sure if that's ever happened.
Yeah, definitely not the result that the 1 seed was looking for here. But Phil on 2 right there, nearly taking Rafu's head off, catches his shoulder to score the point. Phil jump serving, tied at 11s. Oh, Rafu with a cut shot. Finds the open court for the point.
Yeah, Rafu, such good vision as well. I talked about the vision of Taylor Crabb. Well, the vision of Rafu is just as accurate. Can see the defender so well. Just kind of has that really solid feel for the game.
And a nice high line shot there from Taylor Crabb to get the side out. Short serve over to Dave Palm now from the right, but Rafu on 2. Catches Phil with his hands down at the net and gets the side out.
Nice short serve right there. There's Rafu, really disguising it. Looks like he's going to set the ball at the very last second. Dumps it over.
A lot of great hand setting here. Obviously, Phil, one of the best hand setters of all time. And we're tied at 13 all here in set number 1. Someone looking to break away, score a couple of points, build a lead here in the second half of the set. And Dave Palm responds nicely with a good cut shot.
Yeah, solid move on the right side. I thought Taylor Crabb moved a little bit quick into that line. It's like they were doubling up on the line, but Palm saw the open court and got it to the sand quickly.
Strong serve there from Palm over to Taylor Crabb. High set, Rafu with the dig, now a chance. Add to the lead. Crabb's there with the right hand stab. Back and forth, Rafu with another chance now. Down the line, sneaks it past Phil's block and scores his 15th point.
Just so nice. He uses that overhead tomahawk move to control that first contact, and then he's able to slice and dice right down the line around Phil to get that ball to fall. And this is one of those situations, you know, I thought Crabb and Dalhausser would come out a little more fiery, a little more with enthusiasm. You can't overlook this team. Rafu and Palm are a solid team. They're not going to give up a lot of points, and if you give them an inch, they're going to take it right now. They know how big this opportunity is.
Well, it certainly is, and it's a big opportunity for Taylor Crabb as well, as he gets a good side out down the line, keeping the deficit to 1. Serve down the middle, taken by Palm. Challenges Phil that time, and Phil gets the block point.
That was filthy. 5-5.
That's Big Phil. He's right there. Jumps up. His timing is so solid. He always has his hands up and over and in position when the contact happens, whereas a lot of blockers are late. Phil is almost always on time, and there's a big rip. I like Palm coming back right there and going right back at it. That's what you have to do with Phil. Take your chances.
Yeah, Dave Palm with the aggressive swing after that block and catches Taylor Crabb on the run. So they get back to that 1-point lead, which is so important for them. Gives them a little bit more confidence as Rafu serves strong over to Phil. And then Phil down the line with a great swing to the open court.
Yeah, I think a few of these serves would be aces against most people, but Phil, he's ready to go on serve receive and passing the ball extremely well in these tough situations. But Rafu is giving him all that he can handle.
Passed well by Dave Palm, attacking by the antenna there, but Phil closes off the angle, goes high, and gets the block down for another point.
Look at him steal the line here. Up, over, there's just nowhere to go. He gets solid contact off of that left hand that he's pushing back into the court so he doesn't get tooled. And, you know, if you're Palm, just keep on swinging. If you see the open court, go for it. But if you get past Phil, you still got to deal with Taylor Crabb.
Good jump serve by Phil, right back to Palm again. He's going to swing. Phil's there for another block, covered. Good pursuit. Rafu comes right back with a cut shot.
Wow, what a cagey play by Rafu right there. Looked like that play was lost. It's going to be a point for Crabb and Dalhausser, but not so fast as Rafu. Kind of a magician of sorts, getting that ball to the ground flat-footed.
17 all now. As this opening set in the men's semifinal has been very entertaining and very tight. Dave Palm with a good jump float serve over to Taylor. Nice set. Taylor swings aggressively past Palm's block and down for the 18-17 lead.
Taylor, excuse me, Taylor Crabb, just so consistent in his game. Just never know when he's gonna crush the ball or go with the finesse. So fun to watch. He has complete command of that ball.
Crabb with the jump float serve, goes short to Palm. Oh, what a set. But he misses back to the sideline for a hitting error and a bit of a lost opportunity that time.
Yeah, you know, it just looked like it was going to be Crabb and Dalhausser's point, but Rafu kept it alive, and then they hit the ball out of bounds, and they're going to call a timeout and think about it. It's just like that, you know, Phil and Taylor get a 2-point lead where they'd been trailing the entire time.
Well, back over to court number 1 to check in on the status here. Tri-Bourne will serve with a 2-point advantage. Friend Brewster fighting back from a 4-point deficit to keep it close here in set number 2. Johnny Hyde still running down shots, but Brewster gets it back. Hard work here on court 1 right now. And Tim Brewster finding the open cut shot. Stay within 1 point here in set number 2.
DJ Rouchet. What's your name, sir? Buster Nelson.
All 4 teams battling here on Championship Sunday for a chance to make it to the finals later this afternoon.
Wow, that was way more Tom Tool and collective than I expected from Buster, but yes! Great job by you as always, DJ Rouchet.
So back to Stadium Court. Crabb and Dalhausser with a 2-point advantage now.
Of the years that the AVP's even been in existence, and he still looks 24, which is just phenomenal.
Crabb goes deep this time over to Palm's line. Passed well.
Oh my.
Oh, Taylor Crabb was there. Palm got a little help from the net. Maybe changed up that trajectory, and Crabb can't save it.
Yeah, it looked like Crabb had a beat on that one, but not sure if he got caught in the sand. When that ball hits the top of the net, that should give him actually a little more time to pursue, but it was kind of an awkward play for Crabb, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game.
Now, big moment here. Rafu with a strong jump serve down the middle. Oh, and Taylor Crabb hammers that one. Wrist away for the point, bringing them to set point now.
That's pretty solid right there. The 2019 AVP MVP, Taylor Crabb, showing you he's got a rocket of an arm, little inside out action right there.
So Phil serving, first chance to take the opening set here. Tough serve down the middle, taken by Palm. Rafu from well off the net. And Palm swings aggressively cross court for the winner.
What a beautiful play right there. That's what makes a really solid team. Look, he's about 15 feet off the net. Feet position, faces his shoulders, put it to set out to the right shoulder of Palm, and Palm knows exactly what to do with that one.
So Dave Palm will serve now. Second set point opportunity for Crabb and Dalhausser. Pretty easy serve over to Crabb. And he goes high off the block and down to the corner to take set number 1, 21-19, Dave.
What an awesome finish right there. That's Crabb and Dalhausser, you know. They have that ability to change gears in the end.
We'll take a quick break between sets here. Come back to join us for more action from Stadium Court.
The AVP is brought to you by Terramana Small Batch Tequila. Bring on the mana.
By Clean Skin, high-performance sunscreen and skincare products for the outdoor lifestyle. By White Claw Hard Seltzer.
And by Sky Vodka, made with water enriched by Pacific Minerals for a fresher tasting vodka and soda.
Get ready for a whole new wave of White Claw. New full flavor White Claw Surf. Sensational refreshment for a taste like no other.
Welcome back to Stadium Court. Phil Dalhausser, Taylor Crabb taking set number 1 in this men's semifinal over Dave Palm and Roberto Rodriguez. Rafu, here's a glance at our statistics. Matt Prosser alongside Dane Blanton for the call on this one. Dane, what stands out to you here in these statistics from the first game?
Well, you know, you're not going to see it on the stat sheet, although Crabb and Dalhausser hit 600, almost 200 points above Palm and Rodriguez, and Phil had a couple of blocks, but it's that second gear that I love. At about 15, 16 points, that's where Phil and Taylor switch into another gear. They take the 2-point lead, and they never relinquish it, and they win it in regulation. So they trailed almost the whole first set, but were able to switch gears in the end, and that's the sign of an elite team.
The great teams know how to close games out. They did it yesterday in set number 2 against Bourne and Hayden in that quarterfinal game where they were down 21-18 and came back to win the match in 2, taking that second set, I believe, 23-21. So a good start there as Crabb gets the dig. Phil with a set and a joust. Double contact called on Dave Palm, so back-to-back points for Crabb and Dalhausser.
You know, everybody always gets so excited when people win or lose a joust, or the smaller player wins the joust. But I think being the smaller player, you have the leverage, and that's why Taylor Crabb almost never loses a joust. He's pushing up and into the block, and it makes you pay just about every time. It's so fun to watch because he is a master at the art of the joust.
Yeah, another former player that was so great at that joust was Todd Rogers. Similar in size and stature, just good physics, right? With smaller block, but utilizing his momentum and pushing that ball into the block for the joust. Let's see what Taylor does this time. Goes through the block of Dave Palm and down for another side out.
Yeah, I really like the chemistry that I'm seeing between these two players. You know, everyone was, questioning how would this team look? And it seems like they've just kind of fallen right into it. It seems like Phil is giving Taylor the exact set that he needs, and Phil's playing with enthusiasm. And we've mentioned it before, when Phil's on fire and he's motivated, you better watch out.
Well, there's one of his patented motivated jump serves right down the middle to score a quick point, something that we saw a little bit yesterday as well. And as Phil, kind of enters the twilight of his career, we see him do a few more jump float serves and sort of saves this jump serve that's been so great throughout his entire career for later in the event. As that time, another less than perfect pass results in another block point for Phil. But that all started with another strong jump serve.
Phil's starting to get in his groove. He just takes away all of the area. He's not blocking any of the out of bounds area. He's just blocking exactly that line area and pressing, which makes it so difficult for the hitter. There's just no light.
They do now. There's another service ace, this time to the sideline to get them to the 6-1 side switch. What a start by Crabb and Dalhausser.
Yeah, Palm and Rafu are not careful. They're going to get in trouble. Take a look at our waste management serve of the day right there, Phil. You know, we always talk about his serve. He loves to start in the middle of the court. His first priority is down the middle. His second priority are the two sidelines.
Good pass this time by Palm. Reaches high, nice deflection. Great set from Crabb, though. Play on. But a net violation that time called against Palm, and it's now a 7-1 advantage to UC.
Yeah, this one could get ugly quickly. The momentum is all on the side of Phil and Taylor, and Palm and Rafu are going to call a timeout to think about it. But right now, Phil and Taylor look unstoppable.
Let's go over to court number 1. We're in the third set tiebreaker here between Kyle Friend, Tim Brewster, up against Hayden and Bourne, 3-3 in set number 3. We have a battle on our hands here, as expected. Tim Brewster serving from the shadows back there. The monster tent. The lefty goes over to John Hayden. High set, but he misses down the line. Kyle Friend doing a good job funneling that attack out of bounds. A rare hitting error from John Hayden.
Yeah, you don't see John make many unforced errors, and that's what's give him the staying power all of these years, not only taking care of himself, but being efficient. And maybe a little fatigue starting to kick in for Hayden. And we have to note, 50 years of age, the oldest player to win an AVP event, and trying to extend that record.
Now back here on a stadium court after that timeout, 7-1 here in set number 2. Their strong jump serve over to Palm. This time keeps that set a little bit inside, allows him to go down the line and off the block for the point. So after that much needed side out, Rafu goes with the hard jump serve, being aggressive, but perhaps a little too aggressive as his serve misses into the net. Tough serve through the middle here, scrambling. Crabb's there, picks up the free ball, goes lefty. Palm controls it though, and Rafu scrambles to score the point.
Yeah, this is one of those worst case scenarios, I think, for Palm and Rodriguez, because they played so well in the first set and thought they were going to steal it, but Phil and Taylor woke up late, won the first set, and then not only on top of that, Phil and Taylor coming into the second set with more urgency, so coming out on fire. So it's going to be a big uphill battle for Rafu and Palm.
Now perhaps knowing that the other men's semifinal is in the third set, that could be a motivating factor here for Crabb and Dalhausser to get the job done as fast as possible. Save some energy for what looks like a trip to the finals later today. Phil's jump serve through the middle. Again, over to Palm. Good deflection, but the attack scores the point by Dave Palm.
Solid hit by Palm, nice and high with a lot of velocity on it. Do not hit low and challenge Phil. If you're going to bring it high off the hands.
So 2 in a row jump serve errors by Rafu. When you're down by 6 points, you have to be aggressive, Dane, but that's definitely a bad miss by Rafu.
You know, I like his focus and the fact that his approach, he's trying to turn up the heat a little bit, but he's tossing the ball very low. I'd like to see a little higher toss. Maybe he could get some extension on that.
Short serve again over to Palm on the right side. Good set, well off the net, and that opens up the cross-court alley for him to hit for the winner. So with a 5-point deficit now, Palm steps up to the inline, kind of lobs that ball right over to Taylor Crabb. He'll attack through the middle. And a great swing there by Taylor Crabb, cross court for the winner.
Yeah, something you might miss as a fan if you're watching Taylor Crabb, his footwork. He passes on the right side, he kind of stacks up with his and shifts to the left so that it's very easy for Phil to set that ball out to his right shoulder, and then he's got all the range in the world.
And a foot fault called against Phil Dalhausser on that jump serve.
Just what we came here for, the football call.
Phil's always getting really close to that line and pressing it. You rarely see the line judge actually make the call, but it's tough. It's tough to see if it's his foot hitting or if it's the sand as an ace serve is ripped down the middle by Rafu. Maybe he threw it up a little higher that time, Matt, a little higher toss.
I think he heard you from the broadcast booth, Dane. 2 errors, now an ace. What can he do this time here? Through the middle, goes over to Phil. Back-to-back service aces for Rafu.
Another.
Wow, just like that, they're 3 points away. So big comeback right now with these aces.
Yeah, nice 3-point run here for Palman Rodriguez. See if they can add to it. And Phil placing that one down the line with a good roll shot for the side out. And back to a 4-point advantage now.
Solid finesse by Phil Dalhausser. He's got that power. You don't see the finesse as often, but he can do it and shoot with the best of them.
Short serve taken by Rafu. Phil drops, and Taylor's there for a scoop. But he misses the counterattack into the net. So a missed opportunity that time by Crabb Dalhausser. It's 9-12 on the technical timeout.
There's the set, kind of jumping backwards and a little too casual on that shot right there by Taylor Crabb. He'd love to have that one back.
AVP or Lakers game or dance competition.
So during this technical timeout, Dane, you got to think as we look at what some of the former Olympians have done here on the AVP Tour. For Palman Rodriguez, after that early timeout at 7-1, they've got to be pretty happy with where they are right now with the 21-point technical timeout.
To find your ideal workspace.
Yeah, look at Johnny Hayden, 1996 Olympian, and so that's what, 26 years ago? Am I doing my math right? It's just really incredible that he's still on the court. He's still competing. There you see Rich Lamborn, Phil Dalhausser, a 4-time Olympian, and wouldn't that be something special to see him play internationally again? I don't think that's going to happen, Matt, but that would be a treat.
I'm pretty sure John Hayden was playing in the 96 Olympics before Tim Brewster was even born. Have to do some fact checking on that one, but we'll get back to action here on Stadium Court now. 9 serving 12. Crabb from the right side. He drives that one past the block and down, so good side out there.
Crabb is always making it look effortless. Very smooth about his game, but when it's time to make that fast approach, he's one of the best at it.
4-point advantage. Jump serve from Phil. Goes over to Rafu from the left side. There's a nice dig by Taylor, but it goes over, and Palm is there waiting for it. Puts it down for the point.
Great play at the net by Palm to have the wherewithal. It's coming over and to just shoot it short, just out of reach of the moving Taylor Crabb.
Good serve over to Phil. Nice set, and Phil drives that ball cross court for the winner.
Phil Dalhausser, 14-10.
Crushes that ball. Phil Dalhausser, 42 years of age. It looks like he's in some of the best shape that he's ever been in, playing at such a high level still.
Good cut shot there, but Crabb gets the dig and places that one right in front of Rafu's defense for the point.
Yeah, really nice drop shot here. Looks like he's going to hit, and then he takes everything off it. And that huge double arm lift approach from Taylor Crabb makes everybody respect that he's coming in hard to hit, and that's what opens up some of those finesse shots.
Deep jump float serve taken by Rafu now. Goes for the deep jumbo, but misses it through the inline. So that's 2 straight points for Crabb and Dalhausser, back to a 6-point advantage now. Nice hand set, Dave Paul. Another dig by Crabb. It goes over on 1. Kept alive though. Phil with the drop. Taylor on 2. Palm plays it nicely. And Rafu scores the point. What an effort by Palm and Rodriguez.
That was a huge point right there. Never say die attitude on the side of Palm and Rafu. They were reeling this entire play. Look at that back set up into some hittable position, and Rafu just a magician right there, making something out of nothing.
So 11-16 with a little momentum perhaps. Serve over to Crabb. Touch back, self-covered, another opportunity. Goes aggressive that time. Taylor Crabb swings through the block and scores the point.
Shot selection so important at this level. You can't hit all the time, you can't shoot all the time. It's got to be a mix of both.
So on the side switch, Phil will serve 17-11. Just 4 points away now from getting the win and advancing to the finals. Phil with the jump serve down the middle again, taken by Palm. Oh, the nice set, but the cut shot finds the net. And it's another hitting error for Dave Paul.
Couldn't quite get the points. They went to Hyden and Bourne. They got a barn burner out there at the end of set number 3. We got 18-11. Phil serving here on Stadium.
Phil back to it now. Prepares for his jump serve. Aggressive again through the middle. Tight set, blocked but covered again. Tight set to Phil, played through the net. Phil with the lefty goes over on 1. Now Taylor against Rafu, and he gets it. What a play.
For sure, the rally of the match so far right there. Both players and both teams in kind of compromised positions, but they keep fighting. Great dig by Phil right there. That gets blocked. I don't know how he covered that into the net. Then the lefty can't get it down there. And then Taylor Crabb says, I'm going to finish this thing, and bang it cross court with Rafu as a blocker. But Rafu, other plans.
Rafu with another dig, but this time Taylor Crabb swings high hands off the block to score.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever you have a non-blocker up at the net, as Rafu was, most of the hitters always try to light it up, hit the ball a little bit too low, and that brings that blocker into play. So those defenders like Rafu, when they get their opportunity at the net, you better look out.
Crabb runs it down. Good swing there from Phil, but he misses just wide. And Dane, you got to think that Rafu will definitely not let Taylor Crabb forget about that block for a while.
Yeah, and you love the sportsmanship right after. Taylor gives Rafu a high five under the net, and Taylor knows he tried to beat him, and he paid for it.
So 13 serving 19. Set number 2. Tense moments now for Palm and Rafu. They need some magic here as that serve goes over to Crabb. On the right side. Cut shot gets picked up though. Here's a chance for Rafu. Right back over to Taylor. But Phil on 2 off the block and down for the point.
It's 2013.
And it's 2013.
Just too many weapons coming at you. Taylor covering the court right there. Phil able to explode and put the ball away. And they're just not giving any openings to Palm and Rafu. Although they started strong, it's all Crabb and Dalhausser here at the finish.
So 7 match point opportunities. Float serve over to Rafu through the middle. And Phil is into the net that time. So first match point saved by Rafu as he gets ready to serve now, 14-20. Serve over to Taylor. High set from his partner, but all there for the block point that time.
15-20.
Not done yet. Right here, Palm. Good timing, good press. And he's fired up.
15-12 in the third. 2 straight stops by Crabb to finish that one. We got 15-20 here in set 2.
So Rafu now, after the side switch, goes to the jump serve over to Taylor. Runs down the line shot. Chance for 16. And he gets it with the creative shot down the line for the point.
Yeah, that one looked a little strange. It looked like he was going to hit it and just timed it perfectly over the block.
Let's take a timeout, shall we? We're going to take a timeout, 16-20.
Now Crabb and Dalhausser decide to call their timeout. Meanwhile, over on court number 1, Hayden and Bourne have won the third set and have taken the match over Kyle Friend and Tim Brewster. So they've advanced to the finals later this afternoon. Congratulations to Kyle Friend, Tim Brewster, a solid third place finish.
California, Kyle Friend, out of South Beach, here in Florida.
Crowds all weekend long have been solid, Dane, for this final event of the 2022 season here in Central Florida.
Yeah, awesome crowds. Everyone's really excited about this event that was added a little bit late in the season to replace Atlantic City. And it's a rarity to be playing this late in the year in December, but you see the weather here in Florida, spectacular. And the fans have really come out to support.
Beach volleyball, quite a strong following in Florida as the players come back out after that timeout. A late set push here from Rafu and Palm. Still down by 4. They fought off 3 match point opportunities. Let's see what happens here. Rafu goes to the jump serve. Taken by Phil this time. What a dig. Palm has to run it down. A great set. Phil blocks. Crabb now kept alive by Palm. Rafu sets it over on probably 2. And Phil finishes. So a nice rally, but a bit of an unfortunate finish for Rafu and Palm. Phil and Crabb move on to the finals.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that back set. It was creative, but I don't know if he needed to do it. I think he could have set his partner, but maybe he had touched the ball and it had to go over. But nonetheless, a solid finish for Palm and Rodriguez, you know, finishing in that third place finish.
Dave Palm, Rafu Rodriguez seeded 8th in this event, finishing well above that seed at a solid third place finish for them. They've got to be happy with that. But Phil Dalhausser, Taylor Crabb moving on to the men's finals. Well, they'll take on John Hayden and Tri Bourne, a rematch of yesterday's quarterfinals, as we see a few highlights here from this semifinal, Dane.
Yeah, Rafu and Palm have to be happy with the way they played against this solid team of Phil and Taylor. They took it to them early on in that first set. And at the end, it was Phil and Taylor taking care of business. But here's that final point. Strange overset by Rafu and a big put away. So they played well, but like I said at the beginning of this one, Phil and Taylor are going to only give you so many opportunities, so you better capitalize, and they were not able to pull it off. There's a look at the final stats, even with the blocks, but nonetheless, it was total domination by Phil and Taylor.
Well, congratulations to Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser moving on to the men's championships this afternoon. For my broadcast partner, Dane Blanton, I'm Matt Prosser. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again.